right, so we got this, what is this thing called? A Trans Am Challenger TA 392. What's here today may not be here tomorrow. 64,725. Got this 392 here, markup adjustment. 83. Oh yeah, the silver Durango. $111. Okay, we got some 4xEs right here. Those 4xEs, we know how those are doing. Got this SRT Durango here. Red guts for $111. Hellcat. The Hornet. What is this? Another Jeep. That's good. What's going on, man? So the Wrangler, what is it? The Wagoneer S didn't come yet. The electric ones. Nothing. How long do they expect them? Yeah. But they started building them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's much longer.
Not much longer. Okay. Look at this. Scat Pack. 81,000. No moonroof. Grand Wagoneer. I believe this is a twin turbo version with the Huracan. Oh yeah, I gotta go to the parts department. I gotta ask for a part that I want for my Jeep. So this is $96,595, and this has the twin turbo 510 with start stop. This is the twin turbo version. Does it have TVs? No TVs. No TVs in the back. It only has TVs for the front passenger. Just the TV here. Yeah, I gotta go actually to the parts department. Gotta find out a part about my Jeep, see what they want for it. Probably gonna have to point it out to them because I don't know the part number. Let's do that right now. So, these 4xEs, oh, these ain't moving too fast. Look at this. They got the 2022 Ram TRX. So they got two of these. Now, I see somebody bought this. Somebody fell in love with this truck. Somebody put they got the little lights there because there's never enough light on these cars, apparently. They got to put all that light in there. And then he had to give it back. And then they still got that Daytona King Charger back there. Look at this. Still got the Daytona King right here. Daytona King is sitting here for a little while. What was that? $177,000 with a $75,000 market adjustment. And then there's that one of those special edition last call Durangos. So this is a 392. I thought it was a Hellcat. Now they put the yellow brakes on it, but it's not a Hellcat. Why not make this a Hellcat with the yellow brakes? And they want, what is this? What is this? $91,785, and this is a Destroyer gray with a black interior, but it's a 392. I'm like, if you're gonna put the yellow brakes on the damn thing, it should have been like a Hellcat. Like, what's the point of making the Hellcat trucks if you don't have any, like, if you don't make it standardized? If you standardize it, then everybody would know exactly what you had. It's just incredible. What we got here? A bunch of Scat Packs and TAs. I ain't looking for nothing but no hell. I just want to see the Hellcats, but there ain't that many of them here. We got a 392 Durango. They got that silver Durango Hellcat. That's nice. And then there's another Hellcat Ram truck right here. This is a 2022 right here. It's a lot of 2022s. Gee, I wonder why. Somebody bought a Dodge Hornet. Dodge Hornet. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the one that had that little Tyrannosaurus badge on it. So you see the little Tyrannosaurus badge on it? Yeah. Still think the Ram TRX is awesome. The only downside is it's so huge. It's like exhausting just to drive that thing. Wagoneer. Yep, there you go. Let's get out of here. Let's skedaddle. I bought a part for my Jeep. Another part, because I'm buying all of these little pieces to replace parts that have like worn out. Look at this Tesla. And I gotta go to their parts warehouse to get the part. So I gotta go over there. Okay, so it looks like I'm supposed to stay going this way. All right, so this place is like right down, it's like right nearby. It's like right down the street. But yeah, they're saying that those Jeep 4xEs, they're having issues with the batteries. And I think it's something about, it's not like the car is not being properly recharging it or something. Those Jeep 4xEs, 4xe. Ooh, why don't you just get a hybrid? Hybrids are the way to go. Hybrids are the way to go until we have enough chargers. We don't have enough chargers, so you got to get a hybrid because hybrids are the way to go. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you go get your hybrid.
For 1 mile.
Frankly, if you're really driving a ridiculously long distance every single day, like back and forth to work or back and forth to wherever the hell it is, as far as I'm concerned, what you really should do is just get you a very fuel-efficient, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. It's like, there's no shame in driving a Toyota Camry. There's no shame in driving a Honda Accord. You know, there's no shame in it. It's like, if you really got to drive these crazy distances, and it's so bad that you have to have something extremely fuel-efficient, then just freaking get like a regular fucking car. It's like, and you could make a nice regular car into something nice. Like you could buy all this, like the Chinese make all of these things, like where you could add heated and cooled seats. You could get like these massage seat lay-in things, like the add-ons. They make it so that you can make a car nice. Like you can add navigation systems, fucking Apple CarPlay. It's like, you know, if I really had to drive some crazy distance every single day, I think the car I would probably have might be a Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord. Now, I hate to say it, but thank God that I don't have to make decisions like that. Thank God. But what do they say? But for the grace of God, there go I. I don't have to make those decisions. I don't have to choose between an HRV and a Honda Accord. I don't have to make those decisions. But all I'm saying is, if I had to make those decisions, yeah, I'd probably, whatever it is, I'd
turn left onto Dixon Avenue.
Yeah, whatever it is, I just get something very, very fuel efficient and comfortable. You know, it doesn't have to be luxurious. It doesn't have to show off. You know, all I need is comfort.
Turn left onto Dixon Avenue.
Because if you got to drive really, look at this person. This person got a Chrysler Pacifica minivan down there. You see, if I have to drive ridiculously long distances, I expect to be comfortable doing it. You know, it doesn't. Now, I don't have to show off, but I'll drive a minivan. I don't care. It's like, what do I care? I'll drive a minivan as long as it's comfortable. Look at this guy. He's got a fuel-efficient car with a horrible tailpipe sticking out of it. Stupid add-on tailpipe trying to make it sound cool, which it's not. But, you know, to each his own.
Use the right lane to turn right onto Albany Avenue.
Okay. Okay. Quarter mile, huh? Yeah, so I got, again, I have in the mail, the door panel is coming I got the door panel nice and cheap. And then this part right here, I'm gonna get...
Use the right lane to turn right onto Albany Avenue, then turn left onto Banbury Court.
Oh, what's this? It's Becky. Becky's out for a walk. What we got out here?
Turn left onto Banbury Court.
Yeah, they really know how to hide warehouses, don't they? Oh, auto body. This is the auto body shop I think I came to before. They did the paint correction on my Jeep, but as far as I'm concerned, at this point, I think I need that hood repainted entirely. Like probably the hood and the, what is it called? The bumper. Yeah, I'm gonna get the bumper repainted. Excuse me? This doesn't look like a factory. What kind of factory is this? The
You
fuck?
have arrived.
No, I haven't. If this is the warehouse, then this can't be how you get in. The hell? 16 Sprague. All right, so this must be the warehouse, but this is not how you get into it. This is somebody's house. This is literally somebody's house. It's not a warehouse, it's a house. All right, like how do you get into this shit? This doesn't make sense. All right, let me go to the main road, figure out where the main entrance is. Oh, wait a minute. Why would they do that? This is Sprague Avenue. That wasn't Sprague Avenue. This is Sprague Avenue. So why would they send me down that other block? All right, it doesn't matter. This should be the place right about here. 16 Sprague. Where's 16? Where's 16? Should be like right here. Is this it? Where's the odd numbers? Where's the even numbers? This is 22. This is 22. Yeah, go around me. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Oh, here it is. Boom. Right there. This is it. Oh, okay. That was easy. Let me go get my parts. A Dodge Dart. Yeah, that didn't go well, did it? That's what happens when you abandon the SRT badge. You're dead. You're just dead in the water. I guess the problem for them is having a car labeled street racing technology in a time when you got all these idiots causing car accidents and hitting people and shit and getting into ridiculous fender benders because they're illegally street racing. I guess that might be a problem. Feel the power shot. Look at this. This is this hybrid E. You know, they're not saying good things about those right now. I still like the Pacifica minivan, but unfortunately, I prefer having a regular gas one with a V6. Yeah. See, that was easy. I got my part. So when my other part arrives, I will install it. You know, that was easy. My problem is I honestly have no idea what I'm going to do with my Jeep. It's like, I like it. I like driving it. It's a great gas car to have in a backup, but it's a horrible gas guzzler. That's the downside. It's like when you have one of these performance cars, you have pretty much no choice but to keep it, because if you sell it, you can't get anything else on the market even remote. What the fuck is that? All right, so you can't get anything else on the market even remotely like it. And I just like having it, you know? I mean, that was $85,000 paid off. How could I can't just get rid of it. It's a goddamn good truck. Until it's, you know, until the fucking parts started fucking up on me. You know, what do you do? You know, if somebody came to me and said, "Oh, you know what? I can't get one of those, and that's the one I always wanted. You know, I'll give you 50,000 for it." It's like, yeah, I'd be a fool not to sell that shit. I'd be an absolute fool not to sell that, and I probably would. Other than that, I'd have to get like a ridiculous offer. Other than that, I'm not selling. All right, let's get out of here. Probably go by Walmart. So yeah, as you can see, this is my usual charging ground. Bunch of black lyrics, and now we got the EQE, EQS, whatever. Yep, and this is my normal charging ground. I'm gonna show off my new Electron charger. Yeah, times were simpler back then. Everybody, what's up? Hey, push the button. It'll unlock. Push the button first. Yeah, it'll turn red. The light will turn red, and then it'll unlock. Right now, I still see it's green. All right. Yeah. Push it, and then after it turns red, yeah, pull it. Pull it. Wait. Hold on. You don't want to damage it. Is this still green? Yeah. You see that's green. Oh, I see. The button's busted. This is what you do. Right over here. Wait, go there. At the very bottom on the right side, you see it says stop.
This one?
Right here. You see stop in session, and then you stop. And that lets it unlock. But you have to unlock it first.
Oh,
Yeah. And now, you see? Light is red.
Oh, yeah.
The button's broke. I think this button is popped.
Shit.
Yeah, right?
Oh, it was broken.
Yeah, it's just acting up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime. E-Tron. If you know what? If you want to pull in where this guy is, he's pulling out right now. He's finished.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'd rather you be over here. All right, but that's cool. Pretty car. You just got it? All right. Yeah, he can't hear me too well. He's an older guy. Oh, he's U.S. Army. It's one tough guy right here. U.S. Army man. He got the 22s. All right. Oh, she's got the EQB. I thought that was an EQE from the side. I couldn't tell. I haven't seen an EQB here. All right. U.S. Army man. All right. So what we got? We got Becky right here. And then we got this other dude with a lyric. Everybody's happy. You see, if only you motherfuckers had invested more in more chargers, then everybody would be even happier. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'll take what I get and adapt where I have to. This is a nice Blackwing right here. Red with the white seats with the black. Yeah, that's pretty freaking nice. Yeah, that's sexy. That's really nice. Doesn't have the big.
Hey,
spoiler.
Hardev, we just need him to sign the e-contract. Yeah, we'll.
Okay. It's like they should put the spoiler from that one on there. Real nice. I find that really interesting if you get the Brembo upgraded brakes on your XT5. But considering the XT5 isn't really that fast, it's like, do you need like Brembos on it? Like this is not a Hellcat. I mean, it's nice to have the feature, but it's like, do you really need it? They do have the nice upgrades in there. They got the heads-up display, and then they got these little trim panels and stuff. And I'm pretty sure you got the heated, cooled seats and all that. They should really give it the Lyric infotainment screen, and then they'd really have a nice car here. Very nice touches, little touches here and there. Not bad. Not bad at all. You can see this is the current door panel. As you can see, a lot of grease, a lot of oil. Looks terrible. Turn that music down. Turn the music down, hold on. Yeah, let me turn that down. So basically, all you got to do is pop this panel out with something with a sharp edge. You could use a butter knife, actually. You might even be able to pull it. But anything with a sharp edge, pop this panel out. And then my replacement panel, got for $20 on eBay. That's the replacement panel. Gonna go there. You could see right away how much nicer it looks. So I'm gonna pop this out very, very quickly and just take the wire and plug it in. And that's basically it. It's a very, very simple to do connection. Be careful around the edges. Just get that right out of there. See, I wouldn't have been thinking about replacing this, but what happened was the buttons started to stick. And when they start to stick, it doesn't give you, it just doesn't give you the proper movements and everything. So I was like, nah, let me replace this. So you actually have to unscrew two of these. No, you don't even have to unscrew it. This part just pulls right out, and then you just pop in the new one. So you just want to be careful around the edges, because I know some people have actually had to replace these entire panels because it looks so bad. So you just got to be careful. You don't want to damage any of the actuators, the regulators, or anything else. So you just unpop this part and just plug it into the new piece. So there you have it. I just swapped it, and all you got to do is just push it back into place. It goes right in, and that's it. Brand new door panel. Brand new panel. Looks nice and clean. Buttons work perfectly. The other one works. Pull it up. One thing I like about my Cadillac Lyric is that it has, how should I say, it has express down and express up. But yeah, other than that, it is pretty cool. All right, so really quickly, let's just take a look at the market this week. Today is Friday, as you know, and the market obviously is closed till Monday. But as you can see, this was a story I had posted in my community chat. I always watch what these Congress people are doing, specifically Nancy Pelosi. And now they're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. It says Marjorie Taylor Greene added to her portfolio. Here are 6 stocks she just bought. It says, with the dog days of summer behind us, temperatures are starting to dip as we approach sweater weather. But something that has refused to cool down is the stock buying activity of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican from Georgia. Complementing a variety of stock buys from earlier in September, Greene continued to build out her portfolio, reporting in a recent regulatory filing that she bought Alphabet, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, and now she bought Berkshire A or B. We don't really know which one she bought. She could have bought B because B is cheaper, but there's also, somebody like her, there's a very good possibility she could have bought Berkshire A. And then again, she could have bought fractional amounts of it instead of buying entire shares, but somebody like her has that kind of money where she literally could buy entire shares of Berkshire A. She also bought Intel, which is, I find interesting. Intel is down right now. Intel is around $20-something right now. But Intel still pays its dividend. So if she's buying Intel, then my guess is she's betting for Intel to make some type of comeback. I think part of the reason why Intel is down is considering Intel is an Israeli stock for the most part. Yes, we know it's an American company and everything, but a lot of the process development goes on over there. Microsoft, Southern Copper, that's an interesting one, Southern Copper, and United Parcel Service, UPS. It says the exact amount that Greene invested in each of the stocks was not disclosed, nor should it be. We don't need to know her business. However, her regulatory filing acknowledges that each transaction was valued between $1,001 and $15,000. And then it says, wheels keep on turning with AI investments. Like so many investors, Greene exhibited considerable enthusiasm for artificial intelligence. Well, just because you buy certain stocks doesn't necessarily mean that you're interested in artificial intelligence. For example, if you want to buy Apple stock, Apple, they can't even get their artificial intelligence rolling when it should have been rolling 2 weeks ago. But for the most part, Apple, Google, Microsoft, all of them are invested in AI. Just about every single one of these big tech companies is invested in AI at this point. because they're trying to help it revolutionize their businesses and whatnot. But it says rounding out Green's AI investments is Microsoft. After picking up shares in April, Green bought Microsoft stock again in late September, in addition to AI exposure. The Microsoft investment will provide an increase in passive income as the company announced a 10% increase to its dividend on September 16th. Now, that was actually news to me because I've owned Microsoft and I really don't look at the news all the time for Microsoft, so I'm glad to see that we're getting a larger dividend. And this is one of the reasons why I always encourage people to hold dividend stock. More familiar names find their way into the portfolio. It wasn't only AI-related positions that Green decided to add to on September 20th. For one, the Peach State representative chose to pick up more Berkshire Hathaway, a stock that she had previously bought in April. A stellar long-term investment, Berkshire Hathaway helps Green to offset some of the volatility that she may experience with the tech stocks that she purchased. Over the past 30 years, for example, the S&P 500 rose 789%, while Berkshire Hathaway soared about 1,870. UPS is another stock in which Green has steadily grown a position. Green first bought UPS stock in July 2024 and twice in September 2024. In addition to gaining increasing exposure to a leading supply chain stock, Green is generating a more robust passive income stream as UPS stock currently has a 4.9% forward yielding dividend. So that's one that you might want to consider, UPS. What is it? It says Green doesn't often buy material stocks, so the fact that Southern Copper popped up on her list recent buys was a little surprising. Well, maybe not so surprising. The company is a premier investment opportunity for exposure to, you guessed it, copper. And copper is in high demand as the AI boom continues, since the metal is critical to the data centers where AI computing occurs. According to metal-producing powerhouse BHP Group, for example, annual global copper demand will rise to 52.5 million tons by 2050, a notable increase over 30.4 million. Well, here's just a little reminder to those people who are out there breaking into houses and stealing pipes and whatnot in order to get their hands on copper. You know those photo enforcement cameras that they have up there that take pictures if you run through a red light or if you drive just a little too fast in New York City and whatnot? Well, just so you know, just letting everybody know, those cameras contain about 5.5 pounds of copper. This is just a public service announcement just to let you know. I mean, just in case anybody, just wants to know where there happens to be any copper or anything. There's a lot of speed cameras, especially on Rockaway Boulevard and in different parts of Brooklyn, especially on the Belt Parkway and the South Conduit and the North Conduit. Just letting you know. I mean, these cameras are very, very, very important because we can't have people driving over 25 miles per hour in the, trying to, get around. We can't have that because it's dangerous, right? But I'm just letting you know, these cameras contain a lot of copper. I'm just letting everybody know. It's important to know where, these precious metals might be found. So just keep that in mind. So all these people out there who keep breaking into houses and stealing copper and everything, I'm just letting you know, it's like you really shouldn't be doing that, and you should definitely not, you should not take any hard looks at any of these cameras because they have a lot of copper, and that belongs to the people. That belongs to the state and the government and everything. You should not be stealing, you shouldn't be stealing anything, but you definitely should not be looking at these cameras at all, despite the fact that these cameras contain 5.5 pounds of copper. You should not be looking at them at all. All right, so the Dow is basically at record highs, and I believe most of that is due to the Federal Reserve claiming that they were going to cut down the interest rate, and then they were going to cut it down supposedly over the next year. They claim they're going to cut it down 100 basis points. All that remains to be seen. It's really funny. Right now, everything feels like it's just in limbo, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen in November to this presidential election. Supposedly, this impending strike by these port workers, supposedly that's been put on hold until January. So it's obvious that they did everything they could do to get these people to not do anything up until this November election is over. With just, there's less than 40 days left, and it's obvious that, still anything can happen. Obviously, there's a situation that's over in Iran versus Israel versus Pakistan versus Palestine versus Russia versus Ukraine. So there's a huge issue going on over there, and we have no idea if anything will escalate within the next 30 days or so. But anything can happen. Right now, it's anybody's guess. So the Dow is at 42,352. As you can see, Microsoft is $416. They were slightly in the red, but it's nothing to be concerned about. Apple is $3.4 trillion. $226 is the stock right now. Nvidia is at $124. Google's at $168. Amazon at $186. So basically, as you can see, the tech market is in the green for the most part. Even Micron it dipped under 100, but it's come back and it's trying to pull up. But the reality is, as far as I'm concerned, AMD, TSM, Micron, most of these tech stocks, especially those related to AI, once NVIDIA puts itself back in the news by releasing the RTX 5000 series, I really believe either by then or at that point that you'll start to see these stocks start to pull up more investment go into them. See, the problem is these old people, they don't really understand AI, and they don't understand gaming, and they don't understand NVIDIA. What they do, however, is buy into stocks that they see in the news, that they keep hearing about, that supposedly are doing big things. For these old rich dummies, for them, investing into Apple was easy because it was easy for them to see that Apple had a good product, and Apple was popular, and Apple was up and coming. Old rich money runs towards Apple, especially when you see what Warren Buffett was buying up Apple. But now it really appears to me that millennials and some of these boomers are now driving more and more investment into NVIDIA. And I really think NVIDIA is basically going to end up being the next Apple. Because the reality is NVIDIA is going to innovate no matter what. NVIDIA is tasked with basically building these video cards. They're giving you things that you didn't even want, like RTX, ray tracing. Nobody asked for that shit, but they decided to make that the new benchmark. So they put it forward and then made it the new benchmark. Nobody asked for it. What people wanted was they wanted a higher frame per second gaming at 1080p and 4K and whatnot and 8K. That's what they really wanted. Nobody asked for ray tracing. In fact, as far as the smoke and shadow effects and all that, we had all that with like Splinter Cell years ago. We had that stuff in games for the longest. And what's weird about it is when you play a game like Cyberpunk and you walk in front of a mirror, the game would damn near crash if you try to look into the mirror and see a real-time reflection. Most of these games can't handle that. But what's weird is older games had some of those abilities to handle real-time reflections. But this new stuff that they're putting out, they're basically trying to make these games with the artificial intelligence. They're trying to make these things with the machine learning. They're trying to make it so that these games can damn near write themselves. So God knows how far that's going to go. But thus far, AI has been a pretty impressive technology. It's too bad Apple couldn't get theirs going so we can actually see, a better version of Siri. But, hey, all you can do is just wait and see. Now, as far as these automakers, Stellantis specifically, Stellantis is having some serious issues. I personally think, like, when you chop through all the bullshit, I personally think that Stellantis is trying to get revenge on the UAW. The UAW put them in a precarious position with that strike. I think a lot of these vehicles that are currently experiencing problems, I think a lot of them were sabotaged. I can't prove it. I don't think Stellantis sabotaged them. I think a lot of the UAW sabotaged those vehicles. Now, I can't prove that, so that's just something I think. So I'll just caveat, I just believe that. I believe that there were lots of games and funny business going on during that strike. There were parts that weren't getting shipped. There were parts for people who were waiting with their vehicles in service, and the dealers put them on very low priority. And I just think there was a lot of funny business going on. Now, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, I think Stellantis is going to try to get revenge. Now, by the way, I paid a visit to two different Mopar part suppliers. And from what I could hear them saying, they were basically claiming that what Stellantis is doing right now is they're shutting down production of new vehicles right now so that they can clear out older inventory. And what they're really focused on is the launch of their new platform, the Stella platform, STLA, which is basically going to be where the electric vehicles are, such as the Wagoneer S and the Charger EV. I'm not going to really make this very long because, to tell you the truth, there's a lot of YouTubers who live and breathe this shit all day. And me personally, I listen to them. But long story short, the question really comes down to, do you sell your stock? Now, I've already reported like a week ago, Stellantis' stock was around a 10.3% yield. Now it's at a 12.7% yield. The way I see it, and I've said this before, I think Dodge Chrysler, I think those two brands are going to end up disappearing. I don't know how long it'll take, but that most likely is going to happen. The problem that Stellantis ultimately has is without those V8 engines, they are irrelevant. These cars are irrelevant without those V8 engines. The only thing that Stellantis has is the ability to do engines differently than everybody else. Nobody else is putting an iron block engine into anything. Every engine now is basically aluminum for the most part. Nobody else is putting a V8 with a fucking supercharger on top of it, a bolt-on supercharger. Nobody's doing that. Anybody else, Mercedes, BMW, everything is twin turbo this and twin turbo that. Twin turbo, if they have a V8, it's twin turbo. If they have a V6, it's twin turbo. So Stellantis, what they're trying to do is they're trying to replace all these V8 engines. So you got the 5.7, you have that's the 5.7 liter Hemi, the 3.6 liter Pentastar, and then the 6.4 liter Hemi. They're trying to replace 3 different engines with a twin-turbo V6. Now, the last time you probably can remember that you saw that done was when Ford did it to the Lincoln products, to the Ford products. So basically, it was just basically Ford and Lincoln, because this basically occurred after they dropped Mercury. So I've driven that Navigator. I wasn't impressed. It's okay, but I really wasn't impressed. I actually prefer the older Navigator from 2010 because you could actually use regular unleaded gas in it, and it would, for the most part, it was drivable. And if I'm not mistaken, you could use mid-grade, but you didn't have to use premium. And as you know, here in New York, the difference between premium and regular can be as high as $1. So what you're talking about is $2.99 right now for regular unleaded, because gas prices are being suppressed before this election. But you're still talking about close to $4 a gallon for premium. Now, in some places, it's around like 387 or something like that. But still, you're talking about a spread of 87 cents. And that's a lot. As far as I'm concerned, premium should be below $3. In fact, it should probably be around 2. But bottom line is, Ford has been pushing those EcoBoost engines for a very long time. I think what helps Ford is the fact that most people who are buying their products don't really have to tow anything. Stellantis wants you to buy one of these 540 horsepower twin turbo 6s, and they expect you to be able to tow. If you have a Ram truck, Ram 1500, they expect you to be able to use it for that. They expect you to be able to use it to make the Dodge Charger fast. They expect you to be able to use it to drive the Durango. They expect you to be able to use it for the newer Jeep Grand Cherokees, which are going to be called Wagoneers. So I really, really think that they're killing themselves. But in this case, it's something that they really may not have control over. Because if the government is mandating, and I'm not just talking about America, but if they're mandating that they adopt these green policies and whatever, if they're mandating that if you go to Europe that you're not allowed to sell certain engines, for example, they can't sell Dodge in Europe. Dodge doesn't make right-hand drive. That may change in the future, either that or they'll sell those cars under a different badge. But they may not really have a choice. They may have no choice but to get rid of these V8 engines. And once those V8 engines are gone, they're gone. Because the reality is their 4xe technology, right now they've put damn near 200,000 cars into recall because of the possibility of fires. So they're saying the batteries are not either recharging properly or they're not, something's wrong. And the bottom line is you have a large number of cars and they don't have a fix just yet. And those 4xe have had a lot of problems. One of which is that they're too goddamn expensive. These Jeep Grand Cherokees that are being sold right now, these things are more expensive than I ever imagined a quote-unquote regular Jeep being. They're selling these things at SRT, what I remember were SRT prices in 2016. And then they've marked everything up. So when you go on and you look at these dealer lots, it's like they've got markups on everything. And it's funny because the dealers, the managers, they're quick to say, oh, yeah, well, we're negotiable and everything. It's like, no. You shouldn't have these markups on these cars. I don't want to have to negotiate from some ridiculous number that you've imposed on this vehicle. I want to negotiate from the MSRP, not this fucking market adjustment nonsense. I don't want to negotiate there. But that's just what it is. So Stellantis, of all of the stocks that I own, I had to kick myself because, believe me, I had my finger on the sell button 2 nights ago. And I was like, should I push this shit and should I sell? I have over 1,000 shares of Stellantis because, as you know, Stellantis took over FCA. And I've held on to these stocks, Ford, GM, Stellantis. I've held on to these stocks since the bailout era, basically. And I started buying FCA a little bit later, around like 2010 or 2011 or something. But Stellantis took them over. And once Stellantis took FCA over, there was some payout or something that they gave me. And ever since then, I watched the stock rise up to like $25. And now it's sank by like damn near half. And a lot of the stockholders are not happy. The shareholders are not happy about that. Supposedly, they're suing Stellantis, and Stellantis is suing the UAW. Everybody's suing everybody. So I really don't. I just don't know. My bottom line is, as long as the dividend continues to be paid, I'm not going nowhere. I will sit by and just wait. Now, when they stop paying a dividend, that's when I'm leaving. And it's just that simple. Because I've made my money on them already. I've made more money from Stellantis than I've actually put into the stock itself. And that's pretty much a good achievement. But the reality is, if they stop paying a dividend, I'm out. And it's just that simple. I will leave and I won't even look back. As far as the rest of this stuff, there's not really a whole lot really worth mentioning. But the Dow is up, and that's a good thing. all of the stocks are pretty much up. So if you have decent positions, you're pretty much up. Now, I always recommended banks and oil. As you can see, credit cards doing just fine. The banks are doing just fine. Everything is pretty much in the green today. I think American Express hit all-time high. Yeah, American Express at 275. Now, I was telling you about credit cards and banks and oil a long time ago. So hopefully you bought yourself some positions in it. But, there's really not much else. I mean, all of these bank and oil stocks pay dividends. So even if they dip like 1 or 2%, it really doesn't matter. It's like I don't even look anymore. I'll tell you what, I only really come to my stock portfolios at this point just to look and see how much dividend I've accumulated, because I don't do the automatic dividend reinvestment. I take my money and I like to buy shares myself. Like, I don't want to do the auto dividend reinvestment. And that might be a good thing, because one of my portfolios that I started with, Charles Schwab, was an artificial intelligence portfolio. And that one's actually doing pretty good. So in order to do that, you have to take $5,000 and you basically just open up an AI-guided portfolio. And you'll know if it's doing well or not based upon whether the money is increasing or whether or not you dip below $5,000. But for the most part, it's doing fine. And I was just seeing how far AI can take this. But for the most part, the what can I say? The strategy is it basically just buys dividend-paying stock, and then it reinvests automatically in more dividend-paying stocks. And I don't know if there's anybody manipulating it or whatever, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. I'll just let it keep riding. Because the thing about it is, in 10 years, I intend to be retired. I'm going to be in either Southeast Asia or wherever it's a nice, safe, nice, quiet government. I'm going to be somewhere probably. I might end up like Richard Simmons. Like, some of you who follow me, you may have seen, I put out a picture of me and Richard Simmons. And I actually have a picture of me and Richard Simmons. I had a little bit more, like I had some video, but I only put out a picture. Richard Simmons, unlike this Puff Daddy shit, Richard Simmons, he said, I got to get the fuck out of here. Somebody made like one allegation against him. Richard Simmons packed up all his shit. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. And that's it. And he's over there right now. You saw I went to Bali. I went to Bali with, business class on ANA. I had a fabulous, luxurious trip. I was over there with my Chinese chick, and we were over there chilling. I was looking for Richard Simmons, never saw him. But the thing about it is, Richard Simmons over there, he's meditating. He's doing that Buddhistic chant shit. He's over there. Like, you saw the videos that I made. This guy, he goes to the temples. He's up there swimming in the holy water and all that shit. Like, there was a temple I went to where you get into that holy water, and he had all these Australians and New Zealanders and people getting into that holy water and washing their sins off and all this shit. Richard Simmons is over there living. Meanwhile, Puff Daddy's in jail. Now, Puff Daddy had a chance, because I remember when they first caught this turkey, and he had kicked some woman around or something on a elevator video or something in the hotel or something like that. Yo, the second that came out, and see, Puff Daddy screwed up because he opened his mouth and he went after them. Y'all are racist because you don't support my liquor. And it's like, as soon as he did that, they already had all the evidence they needed on him, and they were just waiting to cash it in. And if Puff Daddy had been smart, right now his ass would be right over there with Richard Simmons. They'd be right over there in Bali. And Puff Daddy, he'd be dancing and singing and spinning around and doing freak-offs. He could go right there to Hypermarket, and he could buy all the goddamn baby oil he want to buy. And there'd be nobody to bother him. I keep thinking back to Michael Jackson. You remember Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson had beaten them cases. Now, I don't know how much he was civilly liable for or whatever. Michael Jackson beat them cases. Michael Jackson went over there to Iran. Of all the places Michael Jackson could go, he went to Iran. Michael Jackson was living his life, And there were no allegations. He's over there. He's in Iran. Iran. Of all places, Iran. Michael Jackson dancing, singing, doing his thing, living his life. Not a scratch on him. Now, what happened to Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson got on a plane. Michael Jackson came back here to America. And then look what happened to Michael Jackson. Dead. How dead? Overdosed. How? His doctor giving him this overdose shit. Now, you know Michael Jackson was not over in Iran doing any of this stuff because I think they still execute for drugs over there. They don't fuck around. But he came here dead. Just think about that. Richard, now just think. Puff Daddy, he stayed right here. Where's Puff Daddy now? Jail cell. Prison cell. Judge said, nah, we're not giving you no bond. They offered $50 million, if I'm not mistaken. $50 million or something like that for a bond. Judge turned that shit right down. You ain't going nowhere. No, you're a flight risk. Nah. Meanwhile, Richard Simmons over in Bali. Richard Simmons, hum diddle dum, boodle hum diddle doo. He's all doing all that meditation and shit, and he's over there in Bali chilling. Just chilling like a villain. Chilling like a villain. Eating that nasty ass, what is that called? Nasi goreng. Like, I hated Indonesian food. I hated it. Singapore food, I hated. I did not like that satay beef. I did not like that satay chicken. My favorite restaurant over in Singapore was KFC. You go to the KFC, they had real chicken. Not this shit they got here in America that's killing you. They had the real chicken over there. They had what was called Mala Gold Spice. Them were the best damn chicken nuggets or wings or whatever that was. That was the best damn chicken I ever had. And loved it. Every single day I was in Singapore, it's like, nah, I got to get to one of these American restaurants because I hate this Singaporean food. Meanwhile, Bali, they got that nasi goreng and all. They eat rice and noodles for breakfast. It was like, yeah, it was cute the first day I was there. It was okay the second day I was there. It was passable the third day I was there. But after that, I was like, nah, I can't eat this shit. It's like, this is boring. I don't want this. I started eating their fruit. So every single morning I'd wake up, I'd have fruit and coffee. Like I'd have some watermelon. And then their fruit is not as sweet as our fruit. So I was like, you know what? I'll just have the coffee and I'll have some of the cereal. The cereal was boring. They heat their milk over there. Like they had a warm milk. It's not even cold milk. They had warm milk. And I mean, you could get cold milk if you wanted it, but it was like, I mean, y'all just do it differently over here. But I didn't like their food at all. Russell Simmons must like their food because he's over there and he's free and he's chilling. That's what I'm talking about. When I cash in my, I may never cash it in. I may keep these dividend-paying stocks and just keep putting money in and just keep putting money in. I might leave this shit to my kids. I might just slap their name on it and say, hey, guess what, kid? Guess what? You're a majority shareholder in Mangoat. That's the index. You're the majority shareholder. They're like, what are you talking about? I'll be like, yeah, don't worry about it. All you got to do is don't sell nothing, and you'll keep on collecting dividends. You know, I might just leave this to my kids. Maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. I have a pension. I got my own savings. I'll have rental income from my properties. I'll go over there. I'll be with Russell Simmons. Meanwhile, Puffy's in jail. Puffy could have been right over there in Bali. He could have been buying up all the baby oil. I could go right over there. I could go right there to the Philippines. I could be in Manila. I go to Quezon City. I go to one of them hypermarkets. I can buy up all the baby oil. Me and some Filipina will be in my condo in Quezon City, slipping and sliding. And I have a cup of buko juice in one hand and a bottle of baby oil in the other. But I'll be free. It's like there's some people, I know people, somebody was arguing with me. And I was like, yeah, I have an aunt and she makes $250,000. Now this woman is old and she's retired. But she decided she was going to go back to work after she retired. Like, she took a couple of months off. She went to another country. She did like a little vacation. Then she was like, nah, I got to get back to work. There are some people out there who are workaholics. These people literally will work until they die. I've seen it. I've seen people who literally die doing what they do. Now, maybe they enjoy it, or maybe they just felt that they had nothing better to do. That's not going to be me. That's not going to be me. When I retire, again, I'm going to have a bottle of baby oil in one hand, and I'm going to have me a buko juice in the other, and I'm going to have me a Southeast Asian wife half my age or something like that. And she's going to be rubbing my back and this, that, and other. I have no aspirations at all. I've done it all. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done it all. There's nothing. I have no aspirations at this point at all. I could go right over there with Russell Simmons, and we'll be sitting down humming them Buddha chants and meditating, and we'll be free. Meanwhile, Puffy's in jail. Puffy had every chance to get out of Dodge, and he didn't. But that's just what it is. So that's all I really had to say. So I'm done. So that's the market. What is this? October 4th. That's the market for you.